to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from here, and this has been like a therapy session.
Andrew McCART, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. I'm here with the big man, well, the wee man himself, Billy Nelson. Again, the weight loss, unbelievable, mate. How's things?
Oh, good, mate. I training away, very busy in the gym, still watching what I'm eating, cheating a wee bit now and again, but
it's Christmas.
It's getting, well, I'm going to really be strict over Christmas, because if I can do it then I'll continue doing it throughout the year. But I'm glad. I've lost 75 pounds now, so I'm really happy with that since middle of May.
Well, congratulations, Billy. But I normally talk about Big Martin Bakole when you're here, but you've got a very talented young fighter in the ring right now. I don't know if you want to let people know who's in the ring, bouncing around, doing some shadow boxing right now.
Yeah, very pleased to announce that I'll be training going forward at Zoltan Zubrek. He was a world silver medalist as an amateur. An elite amateur who's 13-0 just now. I think it's 9 knockouts, and he's ranked number 8 in the WBA, 10 and 11 in 2 other organisations. For the short time I've worked with him, and I've worked with world champions at super featherweight and lightweight, this boy is exceptionally good and can punch like a horse. Not only does he eat horses, but he can punch like one. Really looking forward to the journey with him.
Well, that's the thing. You introduced me to Zoltan, but we've actually met I think we've met about maybe 4 years ago, me and Zoltan. I've been at about 2 or 3 of his fights, and he is a very, very, very talented fighter. I mean, exciting times for your gym. I mean, you've got Big Martin Bakole, who's here doing his thing as well. But I want to go over to Martin Bakole, because if you look back into, obviously with the pandemic and all that, but 2019, when he had 4 fights back to back, he's only had 1 fight in 2022. So how would you, again, albeit it was a good win against somebody like Tony Yoka, Olympic gold medalist, so how do you assess Martin Bakole's year? Was it a good year? Has it been a frustrating year? What's it been?
Well, it started off a good year, obviously beating the Olympic gold medalist in Paris. But we've been super busy behind the scenes. Multiple people talking to us about deals, and you wouldn't believe the amount of folk have offered us deals, and we're actually very, very close to signing an exceptionally good deal for him. People have come in and offered us exceptional good deals, but we're very happy with what we're going to get offered, and how the people that are going to promote him, how we've mapped out his career going forward.
Okay, let's talk about his career going forward then. Like I said, this heavyweight division is, it's exciting. I mean, we just had Tyson Fury and Chisora there. I'll get your thoughts on that fight. But you look at Joe Joyce, who's got himself in a position now. Daniel Dubois has got himself in a position now with the WBA ordering him to face Usyk for the world title, WBA world title. But obviously, hearing from his camp, I heard that he has actually twisted his knee, done something to his knee after that fight. So it seems like now these guys that have always been on that sort of fringe world level are starting to get their opportunities now. How far is Martin?
Well, Martin's there. I mean, we'd fight Daniel. We'll fight anybody in the world now. Anybody. Absolutely anybody. I would like to see him get a kind of warm-up fight, purely for the sake that he's only boxed once in 2 years. Just a wee 10-rounder against somebody, and then absolute anybody. We're number 2 in the WBA. I'd like to think by summertime or before, Daniel versus Martin will get called for Daniel's title, albeit Daniel's been called for Usyk. But once the Usyk Fury fight gets sorted, I'm 100% sure the WBA and probably the WBO will be relinquished, or the IBF, or all 3 of them. And I want Martin to be in that position to fight Daniel Dubois for the WBA.
Well, that's what I was going to allude to, because I think with Daniel's knee injury, he might be out for a couple of months, and then we're looking like we're going to get the Usyk and Fury fight within that March-April time as well. So by the time they fight again, it'll be well into the summer. So there is that gap. You don't want to wait too long between fights. So is the Daniel Dubois route, when you look at the landscape of the heavyweight division right now, obviously Joe Joyce, he's gunning for the top guns now, quite rightfully so after his impressive win against Joseph Parker. But is the Daniel Dubois fight, is that the fight in your mind, Billy, as a coach, as a manager, looking at your fighter, trying to get him into a position, is that the fight you want next, or next year, and basically the summertime next year for Martin Bakole?
That's the fight we want this summer. And Daniel Dubois will get blitzed by Martin Bakole. Done it before, he'll do it again.
Like before, you mean sparring? Yeah.
Very much so. He's a rabbit in headlights. Rabbit in headlights, and that's not even Martin 75%. Honestly, 75%. You ask the man himself.
Well, that's what I say. When you look at the heavyweight division as well, you look at I call him an old guard. Fury's in his 32s, 33. Joshua's in his 30s. Usyk's in his 30s. Joe Joyce is up there at 37, 38. So Martin's still only 29. Has he hit his prime yet?
I would say no. I don't think we've seen the best of Martin yet. He was very, very good against Yoka, but he openly said, he said he was 30%. Was it 30%? He said he beat him on. I think it was a wee bit more than that, but I think there's maybe 25, 30% to go. Certainly. Again,
when you look at 2023 for Martin Bakole, if I'm sitting here Christmas time next year, I mean, it feels like I'm going over the same conversation with you. When am I getting this big fight? When's Martin getting this big fight? But this time next year,
there'll be a WBA world title belt sitting here beside Martin. I'm 100% sure that'll be the case.
What makes you say that? Obviously, you can't allude to any. Like, you've had phone calls and dealings and stuff. You can't allude to it now because nothing's been put pen to paper yet. But is that because of what's mapped ahead of him with these, whoever it may be, networks, promoters, and whatnot?
Ultimately, we're number 2 in the WBA. Daniel's the champion. Daniel will never beat Martin Bakole. Never, ever beat Martin Bakole. He's levels above him. And I mean levels. Not only will he beat him, he'll stop him.
I want to touch you, like I said to you, I want to get your thoughts on the Fury-Chisora fight. I mean, well done for them for cracking 60,000 on a cold winter's night in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But yeah, your thoughts on the fight itself?
Brilliantly promoted. 60,000. I don't know how the pay-per-view figures went. I respect of 60,000 is a great gate in December. Fight. It was what I told you it would be very, very one-sided as it was. I'm just glad Chisora came out safe and sound. I hope he retires. I don't think he will. Egoistic, but you know, let's hope he does retire and Tyson Fury fights Usyk and all these belts get, you know, divided up to so other people can get their opportunities.
I mean, do you feel like these heavyweight belts have been held for ransom for a long time between obviously the Wilders and the Joshuas, Usyks and Furies?
As I've said before, when you're a mandatory challenger, under no circumstances should any of the organisations allow you to sign for a rematch clause. Different when it's a voluntary, because you're getting the opportunity to fight the champion, but when you're mandatory, you've earned that opportunity. So once you win, if you win the mandatory, move on, fight your voluntaries.
Just one quick one for me, because I see Martin's getting ready with his ceremonial jacket that he got back home in Congo, but we'll save that for the interview. People can have a look. Yeah, you've got obviously Martin Bakole, who's looks like a world title contender now, and like I said, I've seen young Zoltan fight before, and he's a talented. You mentioned world silver medalist, and you don't get them coming too often. So potentially, you got 2 world champions in your gym right now.
I would think if I'm a betting man, and if somebody wanted to give me odds in it, I'd gladly take it off them. But you know, the boys will put hard work in here and let their talent do the talking in fight time.
Like I say, it'll be interesting because hopefully Zoltan can get the Scottish accent and the Scottish lingo going soon, and I can get a good interview with him. But yeah, Billy, I know you've got a training session coming up with Big Martin and Zoltan right now, so as always, it's always a pleasure coming to the gym and speaking to you, and it seems like you're wasting away every time I come and see you, so mind and eat some turkey this Christmas, mate.
Oh, I will be. I've promised the wife that I'll be turkeyed out my tits this year. But one thing I'd like to say is congratulations to Martin Bakole and his brother Junior Macabu for they received a medal off the Congolese government. He's now an ambassador for the country. So from a father's point of view, his father must be super proud of both his sons. One's a world champion, one's number 2 and about to be a world champion in my eyes, and both have received acclamation for the Congolese government. So congratulations to both of them.
Well done, well done. I don't think our scabby government will do anything for you, Billy, so don't be holding your breath.
No, I wouldn't want anything off Nicola Sturgeon personally myself.
Yeah, me too, mate, me too. To end it there. Listen, Billy, thank you so much as always, mate, and I'm going to look at the big man's all dressed up, so let's get Martin interviewed ASAP. Cheers, Billy.
Dressed up and they where to go.
exactly, especially in green gears. Cheers, Billy.
I'm going to share something with you that might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.